Okay, so I'm here with Jason Louch, former captain and player at Downend Cricket Club. Played at the club from 1988 to 2007 and was the first team captain from 1993 to 1996. My first question to you is, what was it like captaining Downend Cricket Club at that time?
Well, it was a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure to captain a club like Downend at any time, but I was very fortunate enough. My first year of captaincy was the club's centenary year, and there were a lot of events going on that year. We went to Lords and played the Cross Arrows. We also coincidentally had a very good side that year, and we won the County Cup, and we gained a position of third in the league, which really topped it off. So at that stage, it was a great honour to captain the side, and it was my first year. It got tougher, and about 4 years was pretty much as much as I could do. I take my hat off to people who have done, years and years. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of organisation, etc. But I look back on it with a great fondness and thoroughly enjoyed every minute.
Brilliant. And you played from the club from 1988. Did you start off in the first team, or had you been riled up from the second team?
No, I played my junior cricket, funny enough, at Frenchay, and my coach and mentor at Frenchay was Robin Smith, who is renowned throughout the Bristol area as a fantastic coach who I don't think ever had any formal qualifications. And he always told me that if ever I wanted to play proper cricket, I needed to get myself up to Downend. And I played junior cricket at Frenchay. I played for Colston School, and I played for Avon Schools in the west of England. When I was 15, 16 years old, I got rejected by the west of England in the last trial. And it sort of knocked my confidence and knocked my love of cricket for a bit. And I didn't actually play for 2 years. And it wasn't until I bumped into Nigel Clark, who I was playing football with at the time, and he just mentioned that he played cricket, and he said, "Do you play?" And I said, "Well, I have played." And he said, "Well, come up to Downend and have a go." So I went up to Downend, and funnily enough, Warren Smith, who's Robin's son, was the captain at the time. But I started in the seconds, played half a season, and then got my chance in the first team, and that was it really.
Can you remember your senior debut at Downend?
Not really. No, I don't remember my first game, but I do remember the people that I played with, and the fact that I was an 18, 19-year-old kid who didn't really know what senior cricket was all about and how nervous I was. But I just remember being very much welcomed into the fold. People like John Thompson, Austin Shepherd, Bob Hesford, those sort of characters who were around at the time, so there was no sort of hiding place or any shrinking violets. So yeah, it was good times.
Brilliant. I didn't probably get the same welcome as you did in the first team last year.
Not.
Can you remember your first team debut at all?
Again, I don't remember my first team debut. I just remember being picked and Warren saying, "You're in the first team today," and I just thought, crikey. I always remember Robin Smith saying, if you go and play for Downend, you're a proper player then. And I could just remember Warren saying, "We want you to come and play in the first team," and I can remember batting at 7 or 8 and something like that, and not really expected a bowl. And to be honest, what I do remember is that all I wanted to do when I threw the ball to the bowlers was that I didn't end up chucking it over their heads or hitting their ankles. You needed to get it about waist high, otherwise they just glare at you. And so that is what I do remember.
Brilliant. From obviously, if you can't remember any of your debuts, I'm pretty sure you could surely recall one of your best games personally at Downend, preferably.
Yeah, without question. I think the centenary year when we won the County Cup, I had a particularly good run of form with the bat, and I seem to remember in the quarter-finals, I got 50 odd very quickly after I think we posted about 300 odd against Cheltenham, which in those days 300 was unheard of at Downend. I mean, it's quite commonplace now, but then 300 was a huge score. And I remember Mike Padell and Warren Smith getting us off to a flyer. We got 100 off like 15 overs. And I can remember getting 50 quite quickly in the quarter-final. And then the semi-final, I remember very well, we played Stroud. And we batted first, and we were 2 down quite quickly. And Mike Richmond, who was batting at 6, was coming back from Yorkshire that day to play. And he rang me basically at 2:30 when we were 2 down to tell me that he was in Stoke. And so there was a bit of pressure. I came in at 4. There was a bit of a pressure on me not to just score runs, but to not get out as well. And I seem to remember getting a decent score, and Mike sort of like running into the changing rooms and literally putting his kit on about 2 hours later, and coming in and batting and scoring some runs as well. And then the final, I got 97 in the final, which was great. It was what dreams are made of, really. We won the game quite comfortably, and yeah, it was a great season.
From a personal side of things, we'll stick personally just for a moment. Can you just remember your best figures and your highest run?
My highest runs were, I'm pretty sure, was when we played Lansdowne in the league, and I got 128. Unfortunately, they knocked him off, and the guy that played for them called Greg Owen scored 170. So it was one of those innings that was sort of like forgotten in an afternoon, really.
Yeah.
That was my highest league score. My highest bowling figures, I remember taking 6 for once when the ball was turning square, and the Stroud players just kept running down the track for some reason and missing it. Taking 6 for about 19, something like that. But for me to get figures like that, the wicket really needed to be doing something. I don't fancy myself on these flat wickets, which are all covered now.
From personally to a team, can you remember your best game as a team, or will it still be in the centenary year? Probably
it sticks out in my memory would be the centenary year, because we were so successful. But going through the years, we had a lot of good players and a lot of good teams. Because of the standard we played, we attracted good players. We got various players from the county. We've had numerous good overseas players who have come over and shone. We have had weak teams. I can remember. I think I might have even opened the bowling or in first change for one league game, so that was a weak side for sure. But we've had some really good players and really good people to learn off through the years.
From the best to the worst. Sorry to bring this on you, but your worst game personally. I'm sure there were loads.
Yeah, I mean, there were lots of times when I was out for naught, for sure.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, I think what would disappoint me more than anything about games was if we didn't prepare properly. And when I mean by prepare properly, I mean we'd turn up 10 minutes before the start, we wouldn't warm up, and then we'd wonder why we got rolled over. Or we didn't prepare properly, and we didn't there was no interest. I mean, things haven't changed much. People did used to turn up hungover and not fit to play, etc.
I could name a few.
Yeah, but it would be the not trying, but the not being prepared properly in order to perform at your best.
Is that how much you can expand on that answer of the worst game personally, about not preparing correctly?
I'm just trying to rack my brains and think. Nothing really stands out in memory. There were lots of games where we would have been bowled out for next to nothing, and they knocked them off, etc. But nothing really sticks out. Sorry.
No, don't worry, don't apologise. But obviously, from if nothing stands out, surely there would be one story that you could tell the viewers from a favourite tour or something from one of the players?
Well, we've had numerous tours which are legendary, where we've been up to when we go up to Manchester. John Thompson used to organise those tours absolutely fantastically, and we used to have a great time. We used to play proper cricket, and that was what was good about it, is we played proper cricket. We played hard during the day, but then also we enjoyed ourselves in the evening. Too many good memories to mention just one. Lots of good memories.
And none that you can repeat on social media?
Not really. Not to get the full effect of the story. It would certainly be a case of you had to be there. But you know, Pat Booth jumping off a phone box and breaking his ankle sticks in my mind. Is one particularly comical event, ending up in Shrewsbury Hospital with his leg in plaster. But there were lots of good times and memories.
Brilliant. And from when you played at the club and you actually hung up your boots 13 years ago to this summer, could you probably say how the club's changed over the past few years? And obviously the leadership is under now and the changing room's being redeveloped. Obviously it's changed since you played, but for the better?
Oh, without any question, for the better. The ground now looks absolutely fantastic. It's always been an iconic venue to play, and people used to love coming to play the Downend, as they still do. It would be it's a highlight for many sides to come and play at Downend's ground. The covered wickets, etc., make a huge difference. The standard of fielding now is 10 times what it ever used to be. I mean, there used to be occasions when we used to play, and we'd have 5 or 6 quite unfit guys, and if we had to field first, they just weren't fit to bat second innings because the fitness levels just weren't there.
Yourself?
Yeah, absolutely, to a degree. But that doesn't happen now. Everybody can and has to be able to field. I mean, we used to carry 5 or 6 statues around. Andy Bromley famously bowled once and looked around at the field and said, no, he said, I can't have that. He said, I need statue, fielder, statue, fielder. He didn't want 3 statues in a row, and that just wouldn't happen now. The club is always, the facilities of old, were old then, and we're in need of updating, and as time has gone on, that has become even more prevalent and absolutely essential for the club. And the work that has happened behind the scenes, this winter in preparation for this season, whatever cricket we might get, has been absolutely fantastic. And the change rooms look great, as does the ground, and the renovations in the bar and the work that's been done there. It's been fantastic.
Brilliant. So you think the club's changed for the better, as you said quite promptly in your last answer. Is there any message that you'd give to any junior player coming up through the ranks at Downend, or anyone looking to join Downend?
Well, I would certainly, from my experience, Downend is a fantastic place to come and play cricket. It's also a very friendly club. I've never known it to be anything other than that. The structure is good, the setup is good. I'm not going to pretend that the facilities that we have are the same as other clubs as far as the space that there is to play, the net facilities, etc. But I wouldn't hesitate in, I took you out there, so I sure wouldn't hesitate in recommending Downend to any young lad or any adult who wishes to play cricket.
Brilliant. And happy 50th birthday, Dad.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.